Welcome to the Jampack Report for September the 18th of 2019. Of course, my name is Samuel Adams, and 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, on youtube.com/Samuel Adams Media, as well as podcast services around the world, I take you on a roundup of the hottest gaming news that you need to know to keep you up to date, informed, and in the loop on everything happening in the gaming industry. And today we have some pretty big news because, of course, gaming and television have been blending themselves together for a very long time at this point, but a TV network for eSports is coming to LA and New York, and we need to talk about it because it looks like it could be a pretty big deal if the idea does in fact take off. Then Mixer has rolled out ads across both first-party and partnered content. We will talk more about what that means for the future of Microsoft's Twitch competitor. Then Call of Duty Modern Warfare's Crossplay has finally been detailed, and we now know exactly how it is going to work, and I think fans are going to be pretty happy. Then the future of Anthem is still up in the air, but it will get seasonal updates rather than the previously announced acts, which we will talk about how that changes the overall setup for the future of BioWare's big old flop. That's pretty much what it is, just a big old flop. But then Rockstar has its own PC games launcher now for some reason, just in case you wanted yet another icon on your desktop that does the exact same thing as the rest of them. Then Sunset Overdrive is confirmed to be owned by Sony. And guess what? Speaking of which, we now have the MediEvil remake going gold, another thing that is going to be on a PlayStation very soon. But that's pretty much the lineup for today's show. I do hope you enjoy what I bring to the table, but without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into today's top gaming news. First off, a TV network for esports comes to LA and New York. This is coming to us from the LA Times. In the 1990s, if you wanted to observe the latest trends among young people, you would tune into MTV's Total Request Live. TRL counted down the most popular music videos, and legions of screaming fans would gather outside MTV's New York City studio to get a glimpse of their favorite celebrities. Now VENN, a new startup led by an Emmy-winning producer and a former Vivendi Games executive, hopes to create its own version of that for video game fans. VENN, which stands for Video Game Entertainment and News Network, has raised $17 million and plans to open 2 studios in LA and New York in mid-2020. The New York company aims to create 55 hours of content each week, including programs that involve video game competitions. The programs will be distributed on streaming platforms including Twitch, YouTube, and Hulu TV. Back in the 80s and 90s, the lens to pop culture was music, said Ariel Horn, a former executive with Riot Games and NBC Universal. Now we are looking at gaming. The esports athletes are the new celebrities. Horn and former Vivendi Games executive Ben Kusin are VENN's chief executives. The audience for esports is continuing to grow at a rapid pace. There are 30.3 million esports viewers in the U.S., according to research firm eMarketer, and that will increase by 52% to 46.2 million in 2023, according to the firm. As esports popularity increases, brands are looking to reach younger viewers who aren't watching gaming on traditional television channels and are instead live streaming content from YouTube or Amazon-owned streaming platform Twitch. Advertising revenue in esports is expected to increase from about $178 million this year to $213.8 million in 2020, eMarketer said. But brands are also concerned about putting their ads next to cheaply produced content associated with creators who may say inappropriate things. In addition, some of the new platforms hosting esports content don't have sophisticated advertising tools for marketers, said Eric Hagstrom, a forecasting analyst with eMarketer. Esports presents a great avenue for brands to interact with these people, but it's a little difficult, Hagstrom said. VENN hopes to fix this problem by producing high-quality shows, many of which will be live-streamed. The programs will include talk shows, reality shows, documentaries, and esports events. VENN said it will draw viewers by working with esports content creators who are popular and want to connect with a wider audience. VENN's LA and New York studios will be gathering spots for people to engage with esports and brands and will employ about 60 people, company executives said. We are going to be the first 24/7 live studio, bi-coastal manifestation of this entire industry, Kusin said. We are giving gaming a home and a heartbeat. We want to be as close to as many people as possible, to where if they want to reach out and experience what this world is about, we are there. Even though Kusin and Horn are well connected in the gaming industry, they first met 7 months ago after Riot Games co-founder Mark Merrill introduced them. We had this epiphany, aha moment, which became what we know now as VENN, the TV network we developed, Kusin said. He believes VENN will succeed because videos centered on gaming have already generated large audiences online. More than 200 million people on YouTube consume content on the gaming daily, Houston said. The market's been proven for this, he added. We just want to make this content more compelling, more engaging, and help further the growth and support of this industry. VENN said that it would target people ages 16 to 34 with 60% males. Unlike with traditional TV networks, Houston said he and Horn know how to make gaming content that younger audiences will enjoy. Houston grew up with gaming. His dad was one of the co-founders of a business that became known as GameStop. Meanwhile, Horn pioneered eSports broadcast production at Riot Games and Blizzard Entertainment. Because Ariel and I both come from gaming, we speak that language, Houston said. It's almost as if we have the Rosetta Stone to translate their wants and needs. VENN's many investors include prominent names in the gaming industry, such as Merrill, Blizzard Entertainment's co-founder Mike Morhaime, and Twitch co-founder Kevin Lim. Esports investment fund Bidcraft and private investment firm Eldridge Industries co-led the investment round. And so, this is incredibly exciting for me. So, I don't know about you guys, but whenever I'm reading through what VENN is aiming to do, this sounds very much so like a modernized version of G4 TV. Now, of course, if you've been following my channel for a while, you'll know that I'm incredibly infatuated with G4. I grew up on this network that kind of spawned out of a whole bunch of various entities, and it became this hub for gaming content. You had shows like X-Play, like Attack of the Show, like Cheat, like so many other shows that were on the network that really did just encapsulate what gaming culture was in that day and age. The late 90s, early 2000s vibe was strong. It is just one of the best networks ever created, and I'm still sad to this day that it was taken offline. But this, VENN, is modernizing that concept. It's bringing that television network aspect into the limelight yet again by embracing what the industry has become, embracing live streaming specifically on YouTube, on Twitch, and even on Hulu, and creating something that is completely and totally unique in today's day and age, in today's day and time, that has not been done before, at least not on this scale. Now, as they point out, there have been attempts at making something similar to a network, but at the end of the day, not everybody has over $17 million in funding, with more coming down the pipe. If I were to try and create a 24-hour news cycle of gaming content, there's no way I could do that. I'm running this thing out of an apartment. But if I had a studio, if I had a team of over 60 people working together 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to create a network centered around gaming, it would be phenomenal. And I'm very excited to see this come into reality because I love high-quality, well-produced content for the gaming audience. As they say again in the article, there is a plethora of amateur content out there. Not saying that amateur content is poor quality, just that amateurs make the content, and therefore it's not going to be quite on par with something that a TV studio or even a former executive of a gaming company would be able to produce with their funding, with their insight, etc. And so I think this could actually bring something new to the table, and man, I cannot wait to actually sit down and watch what comes of it. Of course, you know, temper your expectations. It could be a flop, but at the same time, the atmosphere right now, the overall vibe in the gaming industry allows for this to happen. It very well could be a huge success. So again, if you do want to watch what is coming to VENN, it should be coming around in the next couple of months with some more details, but mid-2020 is when we are going to be setting the launch for VENN. Again, the video game entertainment and news network, coming from some pretty big names in the gaming industry. However, no mention of Mixer was made, but Mixer is rolling out ads across both first-party and partnered content. For now, ad revenue appears to only benefit Mixer, even when ads appear on partnered channels. Microsoft's streaming platform Mixer is beginning to implement ads across its content, though at the moment it doesn't seem like partnered channels will receive revenue from the ads run on their streams. The Verge reports from Mixer's Level Upcast last week that ads are being placed in both Microsoft-run channels as well as partnered channels, including Ninja's. The ads will appear for anyone who does not have Mixer's Premium Pro subscription. Similarly, users who have paid to subscribe to an individual channel will not see ads on that channel. During the live stream, host Ethan Rothamel made a point that ads are intended to support content creators as well as Mixer itself, but did not specify how that would come about. I get it, ads are not the most fun thing in the world to deal with, but it's super important to remember what you are doing on the site, he said. The site is free, you are watching content for free, and you are supporting partners. For now, there doesn't seem to be any way for partner channels to receive revenue from ads, though the Mixer website has details on receiving revenue payments from subscriptions. There is currently no mention of ads. When asked for comment, a Microsoft spokesperson told The Verge that, quote, "We are always testing and exploring new features and monetization options for Mixer creators, but have nothing more to share at this time." The spokesperson did not confirm or deny whether or not partners would receive ad revenue. So first off, you've got to split the ad revenue. I understand the idea of being able to put ads on Microsoft Mixer streamed content and take that money, but at the same time, you've got to have a split. If anything, for the public perception of Mixer itself, you've got to split the money, and I'm sure that that kind of, program is in the works as we speak, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that update later on in the day. But at the same time, this definitely shows that Mixer is beginning to grow and evolve, and I've always said, I don't know how Mixer is making money. Quite frankly, there are so many streamers, so many partners that are getting subscriptions, but at the same time, the amount of subs on Mixer as compared to the amount of subs on Twitch doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense because Mixer is creating tons and tons of content, both professionally produced in their studios and on top of that, through the content creators that use the site. And there is a lot on the back end that has to be done to ensure all of that maintains, not only potential but also profitability. And I've never understood how the math behind Mixer adds up. Clearly, Microsoft has been funneling money into this project for quite a number of years, but I would say you can't do that forever. Now, Mixer is beginning to show promise. Of course, being able to buy Ninja from Twitch is a pretty big deal that without a doubt costs them a lot of money, but at the same time, that has to be paid for in some kind of way, shape, or form. And so ads across both first-party and partner content is probably the first step towards making that debt a little less. But we will see how this ends up going. I wouldn't be shocked to see Mixer rolling out ads across all content over the coming weeks because, hey, ads are a fantastic way for people to generate revenue. That's just what it comes down to. You cannot force somebody to sub, but you can force somebody to sit through a 30-second ad. And hey, that's the next best thing when it comes to ad revenue. But if you did want to check out stuff on Mixer, again, that is Mixer.com. You can find tons of partners, tons of high-quality, professionally produced content from the Mixer team. And on top of that, you can find a plethora of streamers throwing their stones on the site. I don't know. I was trying to come up with some kind of, saying there. However, tons of people are going to be streaming Call of Duty Modern Warfare on PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and guess what? They can play with each other. But now we know how crossplay will in fact work. Call of Duty Modern Warfare is coming to consoles and PC on October the 25th with crossplay support across PS4, Xbox One, and Windows PC. Players will get a taste of cross-platform multiplayer starting Thursday, September the 19th with Modern Warfare's Crossplay Open Beta. On the official Activision blog, the game's creators explain how crossplay will work in Call of Duty Modern Warfare and how you will be able to hook up with your friends on other platforms. Two important items to note. Players can opt in or out of cross-platform play, and if they want to play multiplayer, they'll need a COD account. Players can sign up for a COD account using their PlayStation Network, Xbox Live, Steam, or Battle.net ID through the Call of Duty website. And here it is according to the blog. Using your COD account, you are able to create cross-platform friends list and parties from all three supported platforms. This unites the community by removing barriers, creating platform-agnostic friend groups. Are you a PS4 player with friends on Xbox One and PC, for example? Now you can organize parties and jump into matches with your friends easily and quickly, regardless of platform. As for keeping the playing field level, matchmaking will be done by input type, controller or mouse and keyboard. Call of Duty Modern Warfare will support keyboard and mouse on PS4 and Xbox One, and if you want crossplay with PC players, you simply have to plug those in. Similarly, PC players can match with console players if all parties are using a controller. To keep all platforms in parity, Activision and Infinity Ward say that most post-release game content, multiplayer maps, and modes, as well as special ops missions, will be released simultaneously across all platforms. That means no more waiting for PS4 players to get first crack at DLC. But that said, PS4 players will still enjoy an exciting day one advantage, but developers did not specify what that would be. And so it sounds like crossplay is actually going to be happening in a pretty understandable, straightforward way. This is, of course, the easiest route to make cross-platform play possible, being able to link up through the Call of Duty account, which without a doubt has gone through a lot of a rebirth on the back end, if you will, because that was a clunky mess a couple of years back whenever I logged into it. But I will say, exciting to see this one finally becoming a reality. Crossplay is not available across the board. I would love for them to have just been able to flip a switch and I can play Battlefield 5 with people on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Madden on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Would have loved to see that become the new route, but unfortunately, it is a game-by-game basis. But Modern Warfare is without a doubt the biggest title that is including cross-platform play, and in a same kind of way that Fortnite spearheaded the Battle Royale movement, if you will, I think that Call of Duty Modern Warfare is going to be spearheading the cross-platform play movement, along with stuff like Destiny 2 Shadowkeep, of course, which is also going to be implementing cross-save, so that could be a pretty big deal going forward when we're looking back, saying, how did we get to where we can just buy any console and play with anyone? We'll point to games like Destiny 2 and, of course, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. But if you do want to actually dive in, again, the game comes out on October the 25th on the PS4, the Xbox One, and the PC. And, of course, many betas are going to be held between now and then. I dove in over the weekend. It was fun, let me tell you right now. Definitely going to be picking this one up on day one. I think I might get it on the Xbox One X because that's where I've been playing the majority of my content. But at the same time, man, this game just looks and plays phenomenally. Definitely has the COD DNA, but not quite the same COD that we all know and love. Or hate, depending on how you perform in the game. However, one thing we all kind of hate is Anthem, and it will get seasonal updates rather than the previously announced acts. BioWare wants to devote resources to a more thorough review and reworking of the game. Pause, had an idea, hold on. Anthem will get seasonal updates rather than the previously announced acts, but it should just get the acts. Haha! Oh, let's move on. In February, BioWare explained how Anthem's post-launch content would be released in updates called acts, which would add new locations, features, and character interactions, and ultimately culminate in a world-changing cataclysms that would set the stage for the next act. But the game's rough launch pushed everything back, and when the Act 1 Cataclysm became playable in the Anthem PTS, it was not great. Originally slated to go live in May, the Cataclysm didn't enter full release until August. Today, BioWare announced that plans for future Anthem acts have been shelved, so developers can work on more long-term, systematic fixes to the game. Instead, Anthem will get seasonal updates that head of live services Chad Robertson said will deliver challenges and chases similar to what you have seen and are built around some fun themes we are bringing to the game. As I have previously said, we want to be transparent with you that we know more work needs to be done to make Anthem better. We also want to ensure we are backing up our words with a great game you can play, Robertson wrote. So I don't have any news today to share about the long-term changes we are bringing to Anthem. What I can say is that we will continue to engage with you, our community, through PTS when we can show you what is coming. Taking it optimistically, the new approach could indicate that BioWare is serious about whipping Anthem into shape in order to secure its long-term future, as Electronic Arts CEO Andrew Wilson said in June. But changing Anthem's big post-release content program without providing much info on what will replace it doesn't inspire great confidence right now. Last week, Anthem was added to the list of games available to Origin Access subscribers as well, and we talked about that on the show. But this doesn't look too good, I'm not going to lie here. Of course, seasonal updates sound fine, all in all, but whenever you completely scrap the DLC plan and you are returning to fundamental work on the game, that you're trying to simply get it up to a playable state that people want to enjoy it and actually want to come back and play it, that probably isn't going to fare well in the long run. So I would say this could just be the slow and painful death of Anthem. Of course, I always hope that I'm wrong in this case because so many people put so many hours into actually getting Anthem up and running. And of course, the game was one of the most anticipated games of 2019. It was called the Destiny Killer whenever it was on the verge of coming out. And of course, whenever the game launched, tons and tons of issues, minimal content. It just kind of didn't work. That's pretty much what it came down to. But of course, I always hope the best, and many people have bought Anthem. Tons and tons of people have bought Anthem. Also, many probably traded it in within 24 hours. But that's beside the point. People out there still want this kind of game, but with Destiny 2 Shadowkeep on the horizon, with Borderlands 3 out, that looter-shooter kind of vibe, that's been filled. That niche has been itched, so to speak. That was a weird way to say that. But overall, I just don't know if there's a spot for Anthem in 2019, especially going into 2020. But, you know, you buy Anthem on Origin if you're playing on PC. You buy Rockstar Games on its own PC games launcher now, if you want. Rockstar Games has released a new digital launcher for its games on PC. The new launcher, creatively titled the Rockstar Games Launcher, is a way for players to buy and play Rockstar games. It's very bare bones at the moment, but it works mostly. The Rockstar launcher was first spotted by numerous GTA and Red Dead fans across Twitter earlier today. It's similar to Blizzard's Battle.net launcher with a similar layout in store. There are 7 games currently for sale, though games like Manhunt, Midnight Club, older top-down GTA titles, and other classic Rockstar games aren't currently up on it. Users who download the launcher can get a free copy of GTA San Andreas. Okay. When first downloaded and installed, the launcher adds Rockstar games to your already own. Adds Rockstar games you already own to your library. However, if you own those games on Steam, you have to click a button that says Play on Steam, launching another launcher within the launcher. Yay. And of course, there has been an update. According to a blog post by Rockstar, the launcher also features cloud save and automatic updates. It's not clear yet what this means for the future of Rockstar games on PC. However, many Rockstar fans are speculating that this new launcher is further proof that Red Dead Redemption 2 will eventually be available for PC players. There is not much in the Rockstar launcher yet, though if you don't own San Andreas, it's totally worth checking out. But according to GTA data miners, the version is the same as the Steam version, which is based on the mobile ports and is missing some graphical touches and songs. And so if you want a pared back version of GTA San Andreas for free, you can download the Rockstar Games launcher. But I do think they are onto something here whenever they say that Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to be coming to PC, and this is kind of the first step in making that happen. Because it would be much simpler, and of course much more profitable, to put your game entirely on your own launcher instead of having to share a cut of the revenue with a platform like Steam, or with something else where you could potentially put Red Dead Redemption 2. But tons of people would love to play Red Dead Online within the world of the PC gaming space. And so I think Red Dead Redemption 2 would be a fantastic fit. Of course, graphically, on the PS4 and the Xbox One, the game looks phenomenal as is. Unlocked frame rates, high resolution textures on PC, modifications, oh my god, it would be absolutely wild. It would be the Wild West to see what would happen in Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC. But if I had to guess, you could be getting this one sometime next year, maybe in the spring, maybe in the fall of 2020. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But the unique approach that Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC can take is that it's not tied down to the end of a console generation. For instance, if you don't release Red Dead Redemption 2 and it's set to come out in fall of 2020, of course this is all hypothetical, the game is out right now, but if the game is coming out in fall of 2020, you've really got to push to get that out ASAP because the new consoles are going to be coming out just weeks thereafter. With a game on PC, PCs are going to be here, they've been here, they're always going to be here, so who really cares when it comes out? But again, I would estimate spring, maybe fall of 2020, but this could be the very first step in making that happen. But you could be seeing a new Sunset Overdrive. I wouldn't expect anything soon, but I'm just saying Sunset Overdrive is now owned by PlayStation according to Sony. As previously expected, Sony now owned the Sunset Overdrive brand. Despite the game first launching as an Xbox One exclusive, Insomniac Games famously retained the rights to the IP. PlayStation has since purchased the Marvel Spider-Man and Ratchet & Clank dev, but Worldwide Studios chairman Sean Layden said he'd need to turn over the files for the full story. Speaking with Japanese publication Inside Games, the ever-affable Shuei Yoshida has confirmed that Japanese game giant does now own the Microsoft-published title. SIE holds the rights to past Insomniac Games works, he admitted. So what are the chances of a port then? I'm looking forward to future titles, he says. It doesn't sound like Sony has much interest in reviving the Sunset Overdrive franchise, which makes sense given its poor commercial performance compared to the dev's PlayStation exclusive output. We'd probably play a port of it if it ever arrived on the PS4, but there are probably so many legal hurdles in the way that it's just not worth the effort. Moving on to Marvel's Spider-Man 2, please. I don't know what people's infatuation with this game is, but it is comical to me. Now, I will say I played Sunset Overdrive on the Xbox One, didn't really scratch an itch with me, didn't do anything for me. I understand the goal here is to, have this kind of almost Tony Hawk on the rails, grinding, shooting kind of vibe going on. It's over the top, it's zany, it's just weird. But people continuously hound these developers, like, when can we get a port? When can we get Sunset Overdrive 2? It didn't perform that well, and honestly, if you go back and play it, you probably aren't going to be too hyped up on a sequel yourself. I think that the rose-colored glasses of nostalgia for 2013 and 14 probably change your perspective just a bit on that one. But that's just my 2 cents on it. So if you are curious as to whether or not PlayStation owned Sunset Overdrive, it turns out that they do, in fact, own it. And guess what? They probably aren't going to be doing too much with it. Insomniac Games, keep doing you, baby. Keep doing you. However, the MediEvil remake has gone gold. Heads will roll. Other Ocean Interactive has announced that work on the MediEvil remake is complete. The game has recently gone gold and will be on track to get sent to pressing factories for its physical edition. The long-awaited reimagining of the PS1 classic MediEvil will be releasing on October the 25th of 2019 for the PS4. I am certainly excited to give this a spin, even if my love for the series is kind of based on nostalgia. I have a lot of fond memories of trekking through that demo disc when I was a child, and I've always wanted to get a proper whack at the sequel. Hopefully, if this remake turns out okay, Other Ocean can try its hand at remaking 2 and maybe even creating 3. I can dream, at least the author on Destructoid says. I would say you're probably not going to be getting a MediEvil 3, but a MediEvil remake you are getting indeed. Of course, this one is long awaited, and I will say, whenever the game was first shown off, was a little bit hesitant because it didn't look that great. But as time has gone on and more work has been done on the game, it has improved drastically for those that were looking forward to diving in and seeing what the MediEvil remake was all about. This one actually looks like a pretty good rebuilding from the ground up of a game that many people do have a sense of nostalgia for. Now, I'm not one of them, but tons of people do love this game. And if you want to dive in, maybe you love the game, or you want to try the game and you could love it, you can check it out on October the 25th when it launches on the PS4. But that rounds out today's episode of the Jampack Report. Of course, if you guys are brand new to the show, I appreciate you taking the time to check it out, and I do hope you come back for more because the show is hosted 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, on youtube.com/Samuel Adams Media, as well as podcast services around the world. But until next time, you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. I will talk to you soon, and peace.